Hey everybody, KC here. So there was a story in the Seattle Times the other day about how Adam Selipsky, who is the head of Amazon's cloud computing business, wouldn't give employees any data to sort of back up why Amazon is requiring them to come back to the office. He's just not going to do that. But he did have some stories to share, according to the story. And an Amazon Web Services employee who was there basically said that Selipsky didn't want to give any data, couldn't give any data. He basically said, well, actual data is very hard to come by. Any data that we might give you wouldn't really stand up to scrutiny. What he wanted to talk about was serendipity. That over the course of a year, just think about the serendipitous things that can happen when everybody's in the office together. Now, I'll buy that to a certain extent. But the thing is, the story made the point that while employees may be demoralized, some of them, by the back to the office demands that Amazon is making and how Amazon is making them, they're even more demoralized by the fact that there's a lack of communication. The thing is, what he doesn't seem to have done in this case, he didn't read the room. These are all computer techies. These are the technology-oriented people. They want data. They'll respond to data much more than they'll respond to, oh, we have to depend on serendipity. And listen, I think that's important. I always thought it was really interesting when Steve Jobs was designing the Pixar headquarters in Northern California. He didn't want restrooms all around the building. He wanted one set of restrooms in a place where people would have to pass each other constantly if they were going to the John. And that he figured would give people a chance to chat. I'm not sure I'd make it the John the center point, but what are you going to do? Listen, as much as people, some senior executives may yearn for the autocratic corporate structures and structures of days gone by, those are, in fact, days gone by. People want to understand rationales. They want to understand motivations. They want to understand rationalizations, right? They just want to understand, and they want to have that stuff clearly communicated to them. They wanted to be respected, right? They wanted their points of view to be respected. And Amazon didn't appear to be doing that in this case. But I think there's a larger lesson here. Even put aside the whole Amazon issue and the back to the office issue. There's a really larger lesson here about the importance of communication and about respecting the people on the front lines and understanding that in any business, the people who are doing the work, the people on the front lines are incredibly important. And if you don't pay attention to their sensitivities, you don't pay attention to their needs and their desires, and you just try and roll over them, I don't know, it's just not a really good recipe for how to continue to grow a business, at least one that's going to have a good culture. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning, and as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.